Assalamu alaikum, welcome to the program Islam Explained. We are joined by our theologian, Omer A Ergi. Welcome to the program, Omer.
Thank you, Aysel. It's good to see you again.
It's a pleasure having you here, Omer.
Thank you.
Omer, I'd like to continue with our the proof and existence of God. In our previous episodes, we spoke about the Kalam cosmological argument. If you could talk to us a bit about the design argument today.
Yes,
if you may, Omar.
Yes, inshallah. Well, with the design argument, it's also called the teleological argument, because when we, look for design in the universe, we also look for purpose as well. Things are, things exist in the universe, whether they have design or not. That's one part of the argument, or whether they have purpose or not as well. So the teleological argument encompasses both, and popularly, the design argument is one of the most powerful arguments for existence of God anyway. And the Holy Quran, puts the argument from design perspective as well. There are many verses in the Quran that say, do they not look upon, the heavens, how it was created, So it always approaches, theologically from a design perspective as well. But I just can't understand why some people cannot really see this design in the universe. Wherever we look, we see design. From, for example, snowflakes, the symmetry that they have, all the way to the design on the butterfly's wings, on the petals of a flower, the galaxies, the Milky Way galaxy, the other galaxies, we see design everywhere in reality. But some people just don't accept that and don't see it. But if you allow me to give you one analogy, maybe that would make it more understandable.
Maybe if you could do so, because some people actually say that when it comes to some of the things that we see, observe, has come about by chance. So if you could probably just open it up a bit more and just explain to us a bit about more.
They do, don't they? They claim that it's just blind chance. But this analogy may make it more understandable, more comprehensible. Imagine that, we are sitting in a theater. There's a stage in front of us. There are many audience in the theater, and we are watching the stage. And on the stage, we see this canvas.
Yeah.
The ones that, the painters use, artists use. And next to the canvas, we see a palette, with different colors in it, various colors in it. And the curtains are closed. And the canvas is in front of the curtains. And then we see that a brush sticking out of the curtains, jutting out. And suddenly, as we watch, the brush starts to dip into various colors in the palette and begins to, draw this wonderful picture, a masterpiece, art, something like a Rembrandt or Monet or something like, Leonardo da Vinci. And as we watch this, would anyone in the audience, in the theater, assume that there is no one behind the curtain? And the brush is, in mid-air, and there's no one holding it.
Definitely not.
Definitely not, isn't it? We would obviously, all of us in the theater would say that there's a great artist behind those curtains, and he or she is the one who is, making this beautiful, painting. We would obviously assume that, wouldn't we?
That's exactly
so, can we compare a painting, let us say, worth $50 million to the real thing in the universe or in nature? Can we compare a painting of a flower to a real rose, a carnation, a daisy or something like that? It's impossible, isn't it? Or the design, the colors, the wonderful colors on the wings of a butterfly or a bird, a bird of paradise, for example. Or nature, when we observe the nature, it is like a painting anyway, but a living painting. Can we compare the two? No. Obviously, there's an artist there as well. There is a designer there as well. All we have to do is look behind the curtains. Maybe we cannot see it, but the evidence is there.
That's right.
And with nature, we should think to ourselves as well, who's holding the brush here? Yeah. Who's the artist, the great artist holding this brush here?
That's right. We just refer the micro level to the macro, for instance, if we look at it from a small thing to the bigger picture.
And like if we add the intelligent design argument into the design argument as well, it strengthens the argument for God anyway. Because not only what we analyzed in nature, especially living beings, we observe a clear design, but we also observe complexity. They function in a very complex way. Many different components have come together to achieve a harmoniously, orderly functioning being. And this also indicates to a designer, this also indicates to an artist, a mathematician, a chemist, a biologist, the grand biologist we should call. So yeah, this is the design perspective. We can put forward many arguments for design, but we don't want the program to go too long.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Look, I'd like to thank you for explaining the design argument, Omer, and hopefully we'll continue with our other episodes on the proof and existence of God. And
Inshallah.
yes, I'd like to thank our viewers as well for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Assalamu alaikum.